I wanted to talk a little bit about ENJs, and specifically NI and SE. Hey, what's up, Game Changers? Sherman here from Geek Psychology, helping you find your true character and level it up so you can play life better. If it's new to you, if you don't know too much about it, we're talking about introverted intuition and extroverted sensing. They're on an axis. It's like these two different characters within the ENJ that is, they're going back and forth, right? Introverted intuition is that pattern recognizing, seeing the long-term impact of things, deep diving, delving into the mind and seeing how the mind forms patterns and bringing that out and shifting focuses in order to understand something better. I think of it as this visioning kind of ranger, visioning mystic type character. You know, they're seeing where things are going, kind of this prophetic type vibe. And with that, you can focus, you can target what you want, you can transform yourself to reach the goals and all these other things. So that voice is slow. It's slow. It could happen instantly. You could get a sudden insight, sure. But it's not like just diving into the action. It's not this like vanguard type upfront character that's moving out there and just engaging. That's extroverted sensing. That's what I call the engaging warrior. Right? That's that voice that just wants to get into the battle, get into the fight, get into the mix, see what is happening firsthand with your senses, and turn it up. The more the better. Right? The more you can experience life, the more engaging it is, the more enjoyable it is, the more entertaining. And with that, the more you learn about the world around you, which is, for extroverted sensing, that key thing that they're seeking. So you have these two voices going back and forth, right? And if you're an ENTJ, it's going to be a little bit different than an ENFJ. And we're not going to get into that right now. But what we're going to talk about here is how hard it is for you to ignore the engaging warrior, your tertiary function, extroverted sensing. I see it all the time with my wife and some other ENJs in my life. It's like, that iron's hot. Don't touch it. You're like, yeah, but how hot is it? What if it's not hot? What if, I don't know, I could just test it and find out instead of like bringing in this culmination of my experiences and my understanding, right? So it's like constantly pushing you to experience things to, I don't want to say necessarily prove your introverted intuition wrong, but it's like to test it, to see like, is this really how it is? Is this really what's going on? I don't know. I need to experience it to know. Because slowing down, stopping, reassessing it, looking at it from different perspectives, whatever the situation is, it takes time. And ENJ just, I think, doesn't feel like they have the time to wait and go through it. This is nothing against ENJ specifically, because what I want to bring this into is we all have our own ways of doing this. As an INFP myself, I have extroverted intuition as my auxiliary. It's this innovating artificer, kind of alchemist or explorer type character, right? That's pushing me to get out and experience things and change it up and push buttons and all this other stuff. And then I have my tertiary introverted sensing, this stabilizing guardian character. Right, that's saying, no, trust the past, trust the structure, the routine. Go through with what worked before. Don't change things. It's so much easier to listen to that voice that's saying, do less, don't take actions, don't shake it up, than it is to let loose, to see what happens, to throw myself into the wild. And whatever your personality type is, you have this too. If you're an INTJ, for example, you're going back and forth with extroverted thinking, the strategizing commander, and introverted feeling, the resonating priest. Okay, use the tropes, use the archetypes. Okay? Pull it out. You know what those characters are like. Even if you don't play games, you know what a commander's like. You know what it means to strategize. Resonating priest, when you make a decision that resonates with you, that really feels authentic to you. You know what that's like. And a priest, like a healer, one that follows the conscience, does the good thing. But you have these voices going back and forth. It's easier to make decisions based on how you feel about something, how strongly you feel about something. If you're an INTJ, often more than it is to... Does that make sense? It's often easier to do that than compared to just pushing yourself out there, to taking control of the world around you, like a geomancer or something, like raising walls and barriers and cutting people off and cutting things off and delegating tasks and doing all these like proactive, fully engaged, creating the plans and actually doing them. Like instantly, not waiting for more feedback, not analyzing more or anything like that. So you see what I mean? Whatever your type is, you deal with this. You deal with this push and pull, this back and forth from the comfort zone of your tertiary function to the mentor, the outer world, or the inner world, depending on your type. So when this came up because of this. I watch my wife struggle with this quite often because she just doesn't trust her intuition. I keep telling her, trust your Naiko Chokan, trust your introverted intuition. And it's hard. She doesn't want to slow down. Right? And I can respect that more when I take it into myself, when I see how it works within myself and look at it from her perspective, put myself in her shoes and be like, well, yeah, if I had this situation, I would make decisions like this too. So what I hope you got from this video is the ability to look inside and see how things are working within you, and then translate that on to somebody else, transfer it on to somebody else and say, okay, well, that's why they do this, right? Because I would probably do the same thing if I had this whole situation going, this other situation. And just appreciate that. Just accept that. People have their own skills and their talent trees and their approach to life, their gears, their weapons, whatever it is, their own life story. Right? And appreciate that this person is doing things the best way that they can, the best way that they know how. Your best thinking, Dean Graziosi says this quite often, your best thinking got you to where you are now. Just like their best thinking got them to where they are now. Right? If you had better thinking and better tools in your toolbox, then you would be at a higher level. You'd be doing things better or differently. You wouldn't be struggling with certain things because you would have better thinking around it. Right? So appreciate that they're using their best thinking, their tool set, their characters, and they're struggling, they're going back and forth within this stuff too. Just like you are, just like we all are. Alright? So I think that's it. Hope it was helpful. If it was, please let me know down below. Like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff. I'll see you in the next video. Keep up the lifelong questing. Good luck, have fun. Peace.